Alright, tool groupies, today we're going to be looking at this ATD Model 5472. It's a 3-in-180 degree tubing bender. You can go to atdtools.com. It'll be in the description box below. Capable of making 180 degree bends in copper, brass, aluminum, and steel tubing. This one tool works on 3 different sizes of tubing: 1/4 inch, 5/16, 3/8 sizes. This is made in Taiwan, and it does come with a limited 1-year warranty. Now this I picked up at my local Car Quest. Didn't cost me but about 10-12 bucks. They do got them in a wide range of different name brands out here. You can go down to your local Lowe's, and they got one in the Kobalt name brand that you can check out as well. But we're going to pull this thing out of the box. We're going to see how well it works on a piece of test pipe, and then I'm going to use it to actually fix some brake line. That video will be coming up soon, along with the tool review on this product and this one here by Powerbuilt. Here we go. This is our pipe bender out of the box. It does look like that it's made from aluminum. Can't be 100%. We'll stick a magnet on it and I'll post it on screen. But now you got indicators right here. You got the 00, 45, 90, 135, 180. That is all your degrees. 45 degree angle, 90 degree angle, 135 degree angle. Then you got 0 or L right there. That's also indicators that will come in handy. We'll get to that here in just a second. Then right here you got die stamp lettering on the side, 1/4 inch, 5/16, 3/8, let you know the sizes that will fit inside this tubing bender. We got some knurling right here on the handles. That way it will provide grip if your hands are greasy from working all day, working on brake lines, things like that. Now these are ideal for just about any type of brake bending job, depending on what your job is, what you're familiar with. I do got several different tools. I like bending brake lines usually with a really small brake bender. Some basic costs you $6, usually does the job you need it to do. I do got a good Gearwrench tool that I use from time to time as well. But I'm someone who doesn't just do automotive repair. I also work on industrial equipment, commercial equipment, machines, things like that. I'm usually working with aluminum pipes. If I go to hook up boilers, pilot valves, things like that, I'm usually feeding some aluminum pipe into different locations. And I'm also used to working with copper lines, whether it's working on water tanks, working on boilers, air compressors, steam lines, just about anything you can imagine, air lines. You use a lot of different tubes depending on what kind of job you've got. I know there's tradesmen out here who know exactly what I'm talking about. So any extra tool you have on site to make that job a little bit easier, a little bit faster, it's going to definitely come in handy. Now this up top is what would be called the pivot lever. That's because you can move it back and forth, you can pivot it, it flips completely around, as you can see right there. You can rotate this thing around. It's got that solid bar on the back that attaches the top and the bottom sides of it. And this bottom handle right here is basically your leverage handle, depending on whether you're left or right-handed. That's usually the handle you're going to use for the leverage, and then you're going to use this pivoting handle to actually bend the pipes over. Now anytime that you're working on any type of tube, whether it's brake lines or on a machine, piece of equipment, it's in your best interest usually to measure everything that you need, get the old piece off of the vehicle that you're working on so that you can accurately bend it in the right locations. If not, you're just going to be winging it, guessing at it, and it may or may not work. So what I recommend in those situations is to get yourself something like a clothes hanger, get it nice and straight, and then proceed to bend that clothes hanger where you need the brake line to go. You can take that clothes hanger, put it up against your brake line that you got. You can mark it with a Sharpie or a paint marker, something of that nature, so you know where you need those bends at whenever you get to them. Little tips and tricks like that will definitely save you a lot of time in the long run, because you can get the exact bend that you're wanting the first time around. And if you're an amateur DIYer, then you definitely don't want to go out here and end up having to spend a lot of money buying several different brake lines because you didn't slow down and do the job right the first time. So definitely take that into consideration. I mean, little paint markers like this you could pick up for like $1 or $2 at your local stores. You can mark where you need to bend them at on your pieces of pipe, and then you can easily bend them. Before you start on your pipe, you're going to want to make sure that your fitting is right there in the right place, because when you go to thread it in, you want it to be on there instead of on the other side of the bend. And then you go from there, you line it up against whatever it is that you're working with, and you measure it. Let's say we're going to want to have a bend starting right here. We're going to have it hooked into its location, and it needs to start getting bent right here. So we will try it right there. And then we'll say that there possibly might be a secondary bend right here. So we'll go ahead and mark it right there, and that's what we're going to start at. Now, since this is referred to as a lever style pipe bender, what you're going to want to do is you're going to take this lever over here, you're going to flip it all the way over, and then you're going to take your brake line, you're going to fit it into the spot that you want it in. You want to make sure it's in the right location here. You're going to take the 0 on this lower shoe handle, and you're going to align it with the double zeros on the form handle right here. You're going to take that little yellow mark that we got lined up right here, and you're going to make sure that it's right there in between those two double zero points. That's going to give you your starting point to measure at. Now, how you're going to do this is you're going to pull this shoe handle right here slowly all the way around the form to bend that tube. Then you're going to take this and you're going to bend it all the way around, and whenever this 0 on the shoe meets, let's say, the 45-degree angle, that's where you're going to stop at. If you need it at a 90-degree angle, that's where you're going to stop at. Make sure that that 0 stops in the right location, and that will give you the angle that you desire, and it's going to give you the right measurement if you measured it correctly. So for an example right here, that's what we're going to try to do. We're going to go ahead and bend this over. You're going to want to make sure you got a nice firm grip, apply nice steady pressure, and do this real slowly. I'm going to take that 0 up until it gets right over top of that 45-degree mark. Once I hit that mark, I want to stop right where I'm at, because that's going to give me the measurement that I wanted. Then you can pull it out and you can check the measurement. See right here, it did not pinch my pipe off, and this is why you wanted to put these on here ahead of time. But this gives me the right angle that I want. Now, whenever I get up here where my secondary mark was, if I needed to make a secondary mark, you basically do it the exact same way. You're going to feed it through here. You're going to give it the starting point that you want it to have. We'll move it down through here. We'll say the yellow line's right there. Now, what I want to do with this one is I want to bend it over till it hits that 90-degree mark. You're going to do the exact same thing. Once I hit that 90-degree mark, then I'm going to release it, and I'm going to pull it out. So now, if this is the angle that I wanted and I measured everything correctly, then it should be exactly the way I needed it. Now, the key to this is making sure that you got the right size pipe for the project that you're working on before you get started. You make sure you put it in the right slot here. You don't want to go too big, too small, put it in the wrong slot. But you get your test piece, you get your clothes hanger, whatever it is that you're working with, you measure that clothes hanger, you bend it where you need it at in your brake system, in your machine, whatever the case may be. You lay it down up next to your brake line. You take yourself a basic little Sharpie like this, you mark it. You take it, you feed it through here, and you bend it nice, slow, and firm. You do that, and you should be able to get the bends that you need for the job it is that you're working with. Now, this one right here, as you can see, I bent this tiny little pipe all the way around, and I got the angles that I wanted here. I got the 90-degree angle, I got the 45-degree angle. Now, if this was on a specific workpiece, this would be exactly what I need to get my job done. But if you do want to see this tool in action doing real-world repairs, I'm actually getting ready to do a brake job. I will be using this tool along with many other tools. I'll post these in the description box below for you to go check out. And if you want to see more detailed videos, how-to videos, tips, tricks, things like that, comment in the description box and let me know. Let me know if you like using these types of tubing benders, if you have one. It doesn't have to be ATD. Go down to your local Lowe's. They got these things for $10 to $13 depending on your store. They come in a bunch of different name brands, but at the end of the day, you need something that works, that makes your job easier, faster, more efficient, depending on what type of job you have. I want to thank everybody for watching. As always, America was built on tradesmen, so I just want to encourage everybody to go out here, grab yourself some tools, and start making repairs great again.